are you today?
I would say I had a great day actually.
Yes. So let's start. Are you a student?
Yes, I am. I am currently in 8th grade and studying in Nguyễn Văn Secondary School. And I would say my grade at school is average, I think.
Do you live in a house or a flat?
I am currently living in a 4-story house with my parents and brother. And if you think that pets are also family members, then I would say our dog is also a valuable family member. Yes.
Is there any environmental issues in your neighborhood? Can you give a solution?
One of the environmental issues in my neighborhood that is the most prominent is noise pollution. Since I live in a neighborhood where there are many restaurants and especially karaoke places, business, yes, and the karaoke places, some of them is pretty old, so the sound cannot be completely so things are not completely soundproof. And sometimes when in the street, you can hear what the people are singing about also. And I think a solution to this is to create like a rule in the neighborhood for the sound to never go up a certain percent. Or also maybe force the businesses to soundproof their rooms and business better, which will lead to people in the area having a much more better sleep schedule. Yes.
So let's describe an exciting journey that you once took. You should say when and where you went, what transport you used, what happened on the journey, and what you remember the most.
Yes. So first of all, I am never one to go on many journeys, since I often just live in my house and go to school. It's just a cycle over and over again. So I rarely had time to share my experience. So overall, I just want to thank you for giving me such a chance. So let me just tell this journey from the start, from where it began. It was the middle of January. I think the 17th of January, my friend messaged me. She linked me a post on Facebook, which announced that there will be a cosplay event in Cẩm Phả, which is my first time seeing such an event in a place near me. So I was obviously very excited about it, which I spent almost a month in preparing for the trip. And on the day of the trip happened on the 19th of February, which is, I think, about a week ago. And a week before the trip, which many problems had happened, in which my friend's mom, like the friend who sent me the message, told her to bring her cousin and her niece together with her because their parents wanted to, which kind of caused a fight between them, which it was kind of serious since her and her mom has never argued before, and which that kind of bring the mood down a little. So the day when we start the trip, and her wigs has some problems, which it was tangling, and it was overall a very, I would say it looked decent, but just not enough. And we used a car to go to that place, which is the event happened in Vincom Cẩm Phả, and it was a pretty, I would say, monotonous 30 minutes car ride. And we were also almost late on the event. And it started in 3 p.m. and we ended up there on 2:40. And since my friend also has to dance on the event, it was kind of a problem for her since he on has to be behind the stage at around 30 minutes before the event began. It caused her some troubles. Yes, it was a very stressful car ride. And the journey, we ended up having so much fun. Although while preparing the journey, many problems have surfaced, but we passed all that. And while my friends didn't get any prizes when she performed, but she ended up having a lot of fun, and someone gave her flowers too. I ended up meeting many people who also played a game, which is my favorite game also. I ended up having many new friends and meeting many new people. And yes.
That's good. Some people think that the lack of awareness is the main cause of environmental problems in the world. Do you agree?
Well, I think yes and no. I think my opinion is kind of mixed. And the lack of awareness part, I think many people lack awareness, but also it's not the people who lack it is also not the main problem also. So let me just explain. Many people that lack awareness is mostly people in the countryside. But people in the countryside overall, they don't use vehicles that use with gasoline that creates smoke. So most of the time they just live a pretty, I would say, peaceful and pretty, how would you describe it? Simple life. And also the people that are unawareness of it is also old people.
Yeah.
But most old people, based on my experience, they also live a pretty simple life. And they often don't produce as much as waste like younger people and people in the modern city. But there are people who I would not say lack awareness. They know that it is happening, but they're just in denial about it. Yes. Well, they're just in denial about it, and they also produce a lot of waste. And so I think my answer is quite mixed. Just overall.
How can we educate children to protect the environment?
Well, I think I have observed that there are some lessons about protecting the environment in schools. Since my English book in schools has a unit specifically for protecting the environment and the vocabulary also. But I think that the efforts are very, how do I put this?
Limited?
Yes. Just not enough to create an impact.
Yeah.
And
where do you think that education should begin? When you're a teenager or when you're in kindergarten?
I think in kindergarten also, and it should also not start in school, but start at home, where parents should be a role model for their children.
Yeah.
In which, if a lot of the time, children often try to copy the parents.
Yeah.
So I think if the children sees the parents picking up trash and recycling, they will also do that.
Exactly.
In which when at school, the student will tell others about what they do, and it will also influence them. And I think when I was in elementary school, there was one time where the teacher would gather us all and tell us about environmental problems. But it's not enough. It's only like 45 minutes of activities, which is overall not effective. So I would think that maybe make the activities even more interesting.
Yeah.
And in a longer period of time, and make sure that it can capture the attention of younger children also,
Right.
because younger children tend to have shorter attention spans.
Right.
And also the frequency of it.
Yeah.
Yes. I think like most school wouldn't go to a full extent of it, and they would like do it once or twice a year.
Yeah.
In which I think that we should raise more awareness and maybe put some signs.
Thank you.